Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jacob Ferguson, and today we are going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16, Episode 13, the Vegas Makeover. Lord have mercy, they are milking the Vegas out of everything. Ah, but it's a lot. It's a lot of Vegas. But let's talk about this. Before we get started, some housekeeping things. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and like the video. And also comment who you want to win. Um, it drives up engagement and all of that. And I don't have a lot of subscribers on here. And I feel like really like Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life doing that, I feel kind of scummy. But if you would, that would be great. Let's get into the actual thing. But before we also get started with that, let's talk about UK versus the World, huh? UK versus the World's finale just ended, and I just have to say, I was rooting for who won. A lot of people were mad, but what we're not going to do is we're not going to send bigoted, racist, and unwarranted hate to the winner. We're going to like the people who we like and tip the people who we like. If you don't have the money, then keep your damn mouth shut. That's what we're gonna do. And if you don't like my attitude towards that, so be it. But I have seen so many people going on to the person who won's comments and just absolutely flooding them with hate because their favorite didn't win. Let me just be clear here. Spoiler alert: Tia Coffee won. And I am very happy that she did win because she deserves to win. But the amount of hate that I've seen coming from Marina stands. Marina doesn't want you to battle her own battles. She was very happy for Tia Coffee. And also, she left with dignity and grace. That's as much as you can ask for. But what we're not going to do is send hate to Tia Coffee. That's not appropriate, y'all. Quit. As well as we're not sending hate to Safira Cristal. Let me just be frank here. If Nymphia ends up winning the season, will I be disappointed? Sorta, kinda. I think that Saphira's had a better run on this season. But I'm not going to send hate to Nymphia. Nymphia is great. If Saphira wins, I'm also not going to send hate to Nymphia. And I'm not going to send hate to Saphira because she beat Nymphia. Does that make sense in here for people? Because a lot of the times it seems like it actually does not does not click up here for people that it is a TV show. These are actual people, and we need to not send hate to them. But let's put that aside for now. We're not even there yet. Um, let's talk about this episode, shall we? So Dawn is gone to begin with. That rhymed. That's funny. Also, that whole Dawn was gone to begin with, or somebody was gone to begin with, is a reference to A Christmas Carol, which first line was Marley was dead to begin with. So I like that little play on that because A Christmas Carol is one of my favorite things. That that and elephants, favorite things, and the Wizard of Oz. So honestly, Dawn had a very good run on the show for not getting any wins. Honestly, I thought Dawn might have gone further, but the second Body came on, we saw a murder in real life. Hercule Poirot walked onto the set to investigate the murder on the stage. Um, so Morphine is buzzing because she won her third lip sync twice in a row. And now we are getting to the top five. So Q congratulates both Saphira and Plane. They get out of Geesh and they go home. And they come back the next day and there is a Monopoly board. I thought that this was going to somehow tie into the whole thing, like whoever wins Monopoly gets to choose the pairs, but no, it's just Monopoly. And I don't know who won because they didn't show the full game because that game takes 8 hours to play. Um, it is brutal, and at least in my family, results in a lot of screaming fights. Like, don't put a hotel there. What are you doing? And no, I don't want to land on this. I have to pay my brother. No, don't make me cough up the money. I don't have the money. And then you have to like go through the. It's awful. I love it though. It's a good type of awful. But let's talk about the actual challenge, which was a makeover. So I'm gonna probably just like get into the runways because nothing really happened on in this other than the fact that RuPaul was on that good shit when she was like in the workroom because she could not. She was the uncle from Mary Poppins up on that ceiling. She was laughing so hard at every little thing, like the names of the drag queens. Lazy Susan. I believe that's a Queen Down Under, but okay. Um, and she was just cackling at that. I don't quite know why, but I didn't find it that funny. But there she went. Um, so everybody kind of has like a concept. We find out that Nymphia's guy is actually straight and is married. Also, the makeover challenge has given us some great queens in the past. You know, Nebraska, Michaela Couture from Canada's Drag Race season 2, who is an icon. Wintergreen. Wintergreen is amazing. I love her. Dave, veteran, who thought that he killed Judy Garland. Um, and of course, just the I don't know. I was remembering something from a Roscoe's thing. I don't know who it was, but they had referenced something with Nebraska, and then they said, "Did you see that death drop?" And then it showed a video of her like messing up a death drop, and I just find that funny. Also, we're apparently getting 2 pit crew members on a couple of international seasons, which will be awesome. Um, so let's talk about the runways. Category is family resemblance. Let's start with who won Plain Jane. Plain Jane's partner, Lazy Susan, looks like Gothy Kendall. I'm sorry, she does. This look was yellow and black, and they had on the same hair. If it was copy each other exactly, I would have been like good. But this is family resemblance. You're not really supposed to look like a mini me version. But she did. Honestly, this look is a cream. Do you guys like crunch or crust better? I think when I started the channel, I was using crust, but I think it's devolved into crunch. I'm gonna keep on using crunch unless you guys tell me which one you like better. Then I'll use that next time. But for this episode, I'll be using crunch. Um, it was a cream, and I really really enjoyed it. She looked good. Do I think that she should have won? No, but here we are. Let's talk about Nymphia Wind. Nymphia and Juanita Wind. T.S. Madison was the guest judge this week. We haven't seen her in a little bit. I think not since the girl groups. And she said something to Nymphia, which somebody actually refuted on Twitter. That was basically like, I've seen you in yellow every single time. And she goes, no, the episode that you were on was, you didn't see her in yellow. It was the red pussycat wig. A good old Jacob Stretch. So it was like, how can you say that when in all actuality, no, you didn't see her in that. But I think she was talking about both the girl group number where everybody was wearing yellow in her team, as well as the other the entrance look where she was wearing her yellow banana look. And I get it. I think that Nymphia's banana stuff was good at the start, and is still sort of good, but honestly, if the judges are telling you to switch it up, then switch it up. Her look tonight was yellow. Feathers, they did birds of a feather flock together. Um, her person was straight, and he served it in that look. His look was purple, and I agree if they had switched it or done both yellow. If both of them were yellow and stuff like that, I think it could have been a great sort of reference to the fact that she's always wearing yellow. Or both of them were bananas, you know? But no, instead we got the other one wearing purple, and it's like, that's not Nymphia Wind. That's not the Nymphia Wind we know and love. And yeah, if they had switched it, it would have made a lot more sense. But I mean, they did really well. And something I haven't really touched on yet is that they had them dance um, to Super Queen. Um, I just sneezed. I think you guys caught that too. Um, they had them dance to Super Queen, and it was fine. They were fine. She was fine. Let's move on to the other high placement, Q. This look was bottom two for me. I'm gonna just be completely honest. Q for me. I'm not gonna try and get on the Q hate train. I think I have been very, very, very adamant on the fact that Q is not my favorite. She was one of my favorites at the start. Just the way that she's handled herself over like the past couple of weeks has not been good or kind. So this look, I was like, bad. It was bad. I didn't like the clown design. I believe that in a makeover challenge, you should do something that screams you and not, this is an entirely different concept than what I'm used to. It's like, it's great that you have family resemblance, but like, it's not you. It's not cute. It's, kind of mid. Like, what are you doing? Um, I just didn't like it. And also, what was the name Luna? Why couldn't you go with something from the alphabet? Like Q and U go great together. Why not just go, this is Q and this is U? Because they're inseparable. Instead, they decide, no, we're gonna go with Luna. Girl, that's the dog's name. That's a character from Harry Potter. That's not a name that you give somebody. Come on now. And if your name's Luna, no offense, of course, like that. But you know, come up with something creative. Like, why are Q and U together? Because they're always together. That's the thing. This look deserved to be in the bottom two. I'm sorry, it's a crunch. Let's move on to Morphine Love Dion, who I think could have actually won the challenge, if not for her makeover partner's faults. Honestly, I agree with the judges that she could have had bigger hair and just dwarfed the shoulders. Honestly, it didn't really mess me up a little bit until they mentioned it. Then I was like, oh yeah, I can see how that's kind of bad. But, and even like the skirt thing, accidents happen, so what? Remember when Sasha Colby tried to tear off her skirt and it said no? So, honestly, it wasn't that bad. I think Morphine looked beautiful, and I hate giving that critique out. I think that Morphine always looks beautiful. And I think that Latina, her drag daughter, also looked beautiful. She was the most painted in the room, but the problem is the fact that they honed in on the tiny mistakes that Morphine made. Whereas Q, you could have read her for not having that great of a concept and it not being close to her brand, as well as Nymphia sticking too close to her brand and not allowing room for growth. So I mean, there's that. As for Saphira Crystal, I knew the second that she threw that dress away that they were going to be in the bottom two. It was horrible. I love you, Saphira. She's my pick to win still. it was so horrible to watch her flounder this challenge. Her entire look just not being it. Um, I do feel really bad for her, but I also know that they were never going to send her home, so good for her. Um, it was Orange and Shakira, who I actually really enjoy the name of that, like RuPaul laughed at that because of course he would. Looked really good, though it didn't match. So let's move on. So the winner is Plain Jane. And the high placements are Nymphia and Q. I agree with Nymphia. I think Morphine could have been up there. And then Morphine and Saphira are at the bottom two, and they start lip syncing. Here's the thing. Unless you were doing Dolly Parton, country is not widely accepted. I know next year they're going to be throwing Cowboy Carter and Texas Hold'em and all of that from Beyonce's new album into the mix, and it's gonna be like the thing Texas. I'll be like, oh God, here we go. I was not trying to make fun of Beyonce, by the way. I'm just tired of hearing that song everywhere. God, um, it's gonna be like all of this like country stuff, and it's gonna be a pain to sit through. But um, the I don't care if she's the guest judge. You should not be doing a country song. I don't care if a country star is the guest judge, unless it's Dolly Parton. You should not be doing a country song. Not everybody, especially when there's a Latina there that does great with other types of songs, and then you're gonna go country. Do country. And then she's like, well, I don't really vibe with this music, and you're like, too bad. I get where they were coming from with like Dawn and all of that, not vibing with that music as well. But that song was more widely known, and she probably knew that she wasn't going to survive that. This was a double sachet. It was horrible, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything to Saphira, but I've seen that girl lip sync for the win twice and win two other times without having to work for it. And she knows how to lip sync. This was not her best work. And it makes me worried that next week they're going to throw her in the bottom again just because, and she's going to have to go home. But I don't think that they would, but then she wouldn't be able to win. Even though I know, like, Simone did that, especially with somebody who didn't have, two people who didn't land in the bottom at all. I get it. It's just like, I don't want Sophia to land in the bottom again. This lip sync was horrible. Also, the guest judge wasn't really giving like she should have gave. She was just kind of sitting there. So I mean, like, don't invite her back, please. Let's talk about the next week's challenge. Next week's challenge is going to be a branding challenge, a memoir challenge. Now, I'm pretty sure that we've seen this on the girl group episode where they did it as a mini challenge. Is it because of the writer's strike? Is that it? Because I understand. But like this challenge has already been done this season, and Saphira won it. So I guess Saphira's gonna win it again. I can already tell you who the bottom two are going to be, and I didn't look at any spoilers or anything like that. I try to stay away from that. It's going to be Plain and Q, because Q does not have a great brand, and Plain's brand is not as fleshed out as the other two. So, if anything, that's what's going to happen. And I have a feeling that Q's going to be eliminated by Plain Jane. just because track record wise, and also Q deserves to be eliminated. Um, I think that she's the weakest out of the top four. I think that, I mean, let's tell fact, not fiction here. She could have been eliminated a lot sooner than that, but just wasn't. So I honestly think that that's what's going to happen next week. It'll probably be to some song that either we've all heard of and love, or something that is just so far out of left field. So I looked up when Tina Turner passed away because I was curious, and I think that they finished filming either before or after she passed away. If it was before, I understand why they didn't use a Tina Turner song. However, if it was after she passed away, throw that shit in there. Tina Turner needs to be more represented on Drag Race. It is very, very, very shocking to me that besides twice on Snatch Game, once by a queen that I am not going to really reference right now because I don't really know where. I know where I stand with her. I don't know where the fandom stands with her. And once by Widow Von Du, we haven't really seen that a lot of Tina Turner. And the only Tina lip sync that we've gotten was a cover of an Elton John song. So it's like, where's Proud Mary? Where's Better Be Good to Me? Where's What's Love Got to Do with It? Put these songs in here. And if it's a licensing issue, that's okay. But like, give us a reason why you're not using one of the greatest voices of all time. So I hope next week is a good lip sync song, because "Miss Me More" by whoever was horrendous, and they don't need to be doing country songs again unless it's Dolly Parton. That's just my opinion on that. Or Beyonce, just do a Beyonce song, I guess. So that is it for this episode. My top four came true, and I think that Saphira is going to win the crown. It's going to be between Saphira, Nymphia, and Plain, and that's going to be that. So I will see you guys later. Do not send hate to anybody, please. And I will talk to you guys in a week, maybe earlier. Bye.